guys, so this is part 2 on the finances or money module overview via Pixifi. I'm just showing you how easy it is to use the expense categories or using the money module to basically keep track of your payments, keep track of your expenses, and therefore making it easier for you to do your taxes because right now is tax season. So after you enter in your expenses, what I usually suggest is maybe going to your accounts area right here. This basically, you can enter in accounts that you have that you usually pay for your expenses with. So maybe it be credit cards. So let's just say, you have a Chase card that you use. And that is a credit card, and then you put a little description based off of what the credit ink card or whatever, and press save. What I usually use a lot is my PayPal to pay for things. So I'm just going to put PayPal, and I'm going to say bank, okay, and press save. Okay. So now that you have a couple of accounts entered in, when you go to your expenses area, it'll be a lot easier for you to basically show which card you paid with to keep track of where you're spending your money. So when you go to expenses here now, this is where you would enter your expenses in for what you're spending. Okay, so what I really love about the expenses menu is that you can go to this filter option and look down to see what you're spending on certain things. So for instance, for meals, you could see that you spent like $20 on a bride. For advertising, it'll basically show you, all the advertising you did that year and how much you spent on advertising. This says I spent $214.20 on advertising. I wish that were true, but this makes it really, really easy for you to just take this amount and then put it into your tax preparation software, and then that way you don't have to do a lot of calculation on calculators and things like that because the software does the calculation for you as long as you enter your expenses correctly. So to enter in an expense, you click on Add Expense. And then you go to, whatever brand you want. And if it's a general expense, you can just put in, $10. Say that you spent $10 today on insurance. That's a general overall expense. And you put it on your credit card and press save. Okay. Now, what I really like about this is that you can enter in expenses for certain different things. For instance, a client or event. So like you had an event for something and you spent money on that specific event, like a bridal show or something like that, this would really help, kind of give you a good idea of how much you're spending on a certain event. I generally use the client tab a lot more, so that way I can figure out basically what I'm spending per client. So you could say that I went out and I'm going to have lunch with my bride, and so I know that I spent $20 with her. And I did that last week, okay? And in the description area is a good way for you to put in like what restaurant you went to. So that way if you're saving the receipt, you can just look it up really quick and you know that that was the restaurant for this particular bride. So let's just say, I went to Starbucks or something, okay? And that way I can just look up the receipt really quickly and I can put it under meal and entertainment, and I used my credit card for that, and you press save. Okay, so now you can basically go in and look to see how much you're spending on a specific client, which is really helpful. So if you go to clients, you go to the client that I had, and you go under money. Basically, it'll tell you how much money you got for this client and how much money you're spending on this client. So this is a good area to enter in albums, enter in what you're spending for their client gallery, things like that. So that way you can basically assess next year or the year after, the month after, however you usually do it, and then see how much you're making per client and how much you can actually dial this down if you're spending too much and not making that much of a profit. So that makes a lot of sense as far as trying to make your bottom line as good for you or workable for you as possible. Okay, so the next video I will be talking about invoices. So if you just want to go ahead and look at that video, otherwise please subscribe to this channel to keep on more tips and tricks, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!